So, you're in a relationship with someone who has ADHD. And let's be honest, it can be really, really tough. If you're here, you're probably looking for some real answers, some tools that actually work, and maybe just a little bit of hope. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to give you a whole new way of looking at things, a new map, really, to understand your partner's brain and start building a stronger life together.
Okay, let's just get right into it, shall we? This quote is from the book ADHD and Us, and wow, does it hit home for so many partners. You feel like you're the one managing everything, the schedules, the reminders, always picking up the slack. It is absolutely exhausting, it builds up so much resentment, and it's probably one of the biggest frustrations out there.
Yeah, if you're nodding your head right now, listen, you are in exactly the right place. And our goal isn't just to sit here and list all the problems. It's to actually get to the root of them, so you can finally start solving them as a team.
So, our first step is to untangle this big, confusing knot. It is so easy to take everything personally, right? But what if the biggest conflicts in your relationship aren't actually about a lack of love or respect, but are really about neurology?
I really need you to hear this. The way you're feeling, it's valid. You are not alone in feeling frustrated or angry or just plain worn out. In fact, relationship problems are one of the top reasons adults with ADHD even seek treatment in the first place. So this isn't some small thing. It's a huge stressor that so many couples are dealing with right now.
So when you look at a list like this, the missed deadlines, the constant clutter, forgetting a conversation you just had, these aren't just personality quirks. They are direct symptoms of ADHD. That forgotten anniversary, it's not necessarily a sign they don't love you. And the mess? It's probably not a statement about how they feel about your home. These are symptoms. And just getting that, well, that's the first huge step.
And this right here is where everything starts to click. If you really want to change the dynamic in your relationship, you have to get away from blaming your partner's character and start to understand their brain's biology. I'm telling you, this is the shift that changes everything.
Okay, so let's talk about executive functions. Think of them as the CEO of the brain. They're in charge of everything: planning, organizing, remembering to take out the trash, stopping yourself from saying something you'll regret. Now, in the ADHD brain, that CEO is often completely overwhelmed, seriously understaffed, and trying to work with a really spotty internet connection.
And here it is. This is the first big aha moment for so many partners. What feels like they just don't care is actually a brain that literally struggles to hold on to information. It's like their working memory is a whiteboard that gets erased without their permission. So your partner isn't choosing to forget, their brain is just letting go of the information for them. And here's the second one, which is just as huge. A messy house can feel like a personal attack, a direct sign of disrespect. But the reality? Managing clutter takes a whole bunch of executive functions, attention, planning, decision-making, that are all weaker with ADHD. It is a skill problem, not a character flaw.
Now, this is so important. Understanding the biology isn't about making excuses for behavior, not at all. It's about finding the real reason for it. And when you do that, you can finally stop fighting against each other, and you can start working together against the symptoms. It becomes us versus the clutter instead of you versus me.
Okay, so now that we get the why behind a lot of this stuff, let's talk about the how. How do we actually fix it? We need to build a whole new foundation for the relationship. And this next part is a framework for doing exactly that, for creating a space where you can both actually succeed. These 5 pillars, they come from the book ADHD and Us. And this is basically your new toolkit. You've got praise to focus on what's going right, acknowledgement to make sure you both feel heard, games to make those boring tasks a little less painful, a growth mindset so you're always learning together, and positive acceptance of who your partner really is. These things work together to totally change the mood in your home.
So the first two, praise and acknowledgement, they're all about breaking that negative cycle you might be in. So many people with ADHD have spent their entire lives hearing about what they're doing wrong. By intentionally focusing on praise and acknowledging the effort, even for small things, you start to rebuild that lost confidence and connection. You turn what might be a toxic environment into a supportive one.
And these last 2 are really about the long game. A growth mindset just means you're both in it for the long haul, committed to figuring this out together. And positive acceptance, that means letting go of the idea that your partner needs to become normal. You have to accept their brain for what it is. It's about loving and working with the person they are right now.
All right, so we've got the mindset down. That's awesome. But now let's get into the mechanics. How do we turn all this great understanding into real things you can actually start doing, like today?
This table just lays it out so perfectly. See how every single solution is about teamwork? For the clutter, you work together to create systems, like getting clear bins so things aren't out of sight, out of mind. For appointments, a shared digital calendar becomes the external brain for both of you. And for those big emotional moments, you agree beforehand on a strategy, like having a cool-down space to stop fights before they start.
And here are even more ways to work like a team. You know, all of these strategies are really about one thing: taking the pressure off the brain's executive functions. You're basically building scaffolding, systems and structures outside the brain, so that willpower and memory aren't the only tools you have. You are literally, together, building a household that just works better.
Okay, managing the challenges is one thing, and it's essential. But a relationship that really thrives also learns to embrace the good stuff. So let's shift our focus from just surviving ADHD to actually celebrating what makes your partnership unique and honestly, pretty powerful.
I love this quote from the book Neurotribes. It's such a game changer. Just think about it. What if you spent way less energy trying to fix the weaknesses and way more energy harnessing the strengths? That one little shift in perspective can completely transform the feeling in your relationship. And those strengths, they are so real. That ability to hyperfocus can lead to incredible breakthroughs in passion. That creative, out-of-the-box thinking can solve problems in ways you'd never imagine. And yeah, the spontaneity can bring so much excitement and adventure into your life. These aren't just side effects of ADHD, they can be actual superpowers.
When it comes down to it, this is the promise that makes it all work. It's a vow that says, yeah, I know this is going to be hard sometimes, but our partnership comes first. It's not about one person fixing the other. It's about two people saying, we're on this path of growth together. And please, remember to be kind to yourselves, both of you. This is a marathon, not a sprint. There are going to be bad days. Old habits die hard. But as long as you're both trying to move in the right direction, that's progress. And you have to celebrate the small wins. The on-time arrival, the clean counter, the calm conversation. Those little things are the building blocks of real change. With this new way of looking at things and these new tools, you're not stuck in that same old story anymore. You actually have the power to write a brand new one, a chapter that's not defined by frustration, but by teamwork and acceptance, and honestly, a much deeper kind of love. So, what's the first sentence of that new chapter going to be?